I never thought a food delivery would end with my neighbor getting arrested. But that's exactly what happened when Sheila Watkins, the self-appointed queen of our HOA, decided that my dinner violated community standards. It started out like any normal Friday night. I was starving after 3 straight days of back-to-back coding sessions. All I wanted was a hot steak dinner, delivered to my door. But when the driver marked my order as delivered, and I opened my door to find nothing there, I figured he'd made a mistake. Turns out, he hadn't. He'd delivered it, just not to me, and the woman who took it wasn't a random thief. She lived 3 houses down. When I first moved into Oakwood Estates, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. Quiet streets, perfect lawns, friendly smiles. The kind of neighborhood that looked straight out of a real estate brochure. Every mailbox matched. Every lawn was trimmed to the same height. And every resident, I would soon learn, lived under the silent rule of one woman, Sheila Watkins. Sheila was in her early 60s, with sharp hair and sharper eyes. HOA president for nearly a decade. She walked the neighborhood like she was inspecting a military base. Her house, teal door, manicured roses, no weeds in sight, was the crown jewel of Oakwood. So when I followed the delivery photo and saw my steak dinner sitting on her porch, I was half embarrassed, half confused. I knocked politely. She opened the door with a smile so tight it could cut glass. "Hi, I think my order was dropped off here by mistake," I said, pointing at the app. Her smile didn't budge. "Oh, I'm afraid that's not a mistake. The HOA has a strict policy against food deliveries after 6 p.m. on weekdays. It's a safety issue. Section 12.3 of the bylaws," I blinked. "What? That's not real," she folded her arms. "As HOA president, I'm responsible for enforcing our standards. Consider this a friendly warning." Then, without a flicker of guilt, she added, "I've already disposed of the food properly. Have a good night." Door closed. Lock clicked. And I just stood there, $75 gone, my dinner disposed of. The next morning I found an official HOA violation letter in my mailbox. Fancy logo, Sheila's signature, everything. It cited the same made-up rule. That's when I realized she wasn't just strict. She was obsessed with control. Over the next month, things got worse. Every time I ordered delivery, something happened. The driver would text that someone at your address said you canceled, or that your wife picked it up already. I don't have a wife. It became clear Sheila was intercepting my deliveries. Somehow she always knew when they arrived. Maybe she watched the cul-de-sac from her window. Maybe she had motion alerts set up. Either way, she was stealing my meals one by one. By the time I added it all up, I'd lost over $300 worth of food. I talked to other neighbors. Most of them sympathized, quietly. One even whispered, "Be careful." Last year, she fined the Petersons until they took down their kid's swing set. No one crosses her. That was the moment I decided. Enough was enough. I installed a doorbell camera and started collecting proof. Footage after footage of Sheila intercepting drivers, talking to them like she ran Amazon. Sometimes she wore gardening gloves, sometimes her bathrobe, always with that fake smile. But I needed one final piece, undeniable evidence and a reason for the police to act. So I came up with a plan. One Friday, I placed a massive order, over $500, from an upscale French restaurant downtown. Wagyu steak tartare, truffle risotto, Bordeaux, the works. It wasn't dinner. It was bait. I watched from my office window as the delivery car pulled into the cul-de-sac. And right on cue, Sheila stepped out, clipboard in hand, like a traffic cop. Through my doorbell camera, I heard her voice. "I'll take that order. Community regulations require deliveries to be cleared through me." The driver hesitated, then handed it over. He didn't want to argue with the president. Perfect. I called the police non-emergency line. Calmly explained the situation. My neighbor has stolen multiple food deliveries, and today she took an order worth over $500. I have video proof. They said an officer would be there shortly. 20 minutes later, 2 patrol cars rolled up quietly, lights on, no sirens. From my window, I saw Sheila open the door to the officers, her smile turning from fake charm to panic in real time. She tried to explain it away. "I'm the HOA president. These deliveries violate community policy." One officer came to my door. "Your neighbor claims she was enforcing regulations." I pulled up the bylaws on my phone and said, "There's no rule about deliveries." Then showed him the footage of her taking the order. He nodded. "What was the total value of the order?" $523.47, including the wine. He didn't say much, just thanked me and went back. From my driveway, I saw it happen. The second officer's tone shifted. Sheila's arms started flailing. Her voice rose. And then, the moment I'll never forget, the click of handcuffs. Sheila Watkins, HOA president and self-proclaimed guardian of neighborhood order, was being read her rights. Later that night, one of the officers came back to get my full statement. "Your neighbor's being charged with grand larceny," he said. "Anything over $500 qualifies as a felony here. She claimed she was disposing of your food for health and safety reasons, but we found the wine on her counter and the rest of the order in her fridge." I thanked him. He just smiled and shook his head. "Guess she didn't realize HOA rules don't outrank state law." The next evening, Oakwood Estates held an emergency HOA meeting. Word had spread fast. The community center was packed, standing room only. Sheila's name was the only thing on the agenda. For years, people had been afraid of her. But now, story after story poured out. Trees removed without permission, fines for chalk art, threats over mailbox colors. When it was my turn to speak, I didn't say a word. I just played my doorbell footage, Sheila intercepting deliveries, posing as me, confiscating food with self-righteous fury. By the time it ended, no one dared defend her. The board voted unanimously to remove her as president. A week later, I got a knock on my door. It was Sheila, but not the same woman. No makeup, hair flat, eyes hollow. She clutched an envelope like a peace offering. "My lawyer says I need to make restitution," she said quietly. "This covers everything you lost. Plus interest, I took it." "Thank you," she lingered. "You don't understand," she whispered. "I was just trying to keep order. Now I might lose my real estate license, my career, my reputation." For the first time, I didn't see a tyrant, just someone who finally realized control has consequences. "I never wanted it to go this far," I said honestly. "I just wanted to eat my dinner in peace." A silence hung between us, awkward, heavy, final. Then my phone chimed. My new delivery driver had arrived. I smiled. "Excuse me," I said, stepping past her. "That's my lunch. And this time I think it'll actually make it to my door."